Hey Internet, my name is Abby and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program on Wings. We are here with our supply ship and I have improved it. I have added 2 additional boosters and we will try this out in 3, 2, 1 and lift off. Okay, here we go again. As in the first launch of my supply ship, I will just show you the first part of the launch, so until we've done most of the gravity turn, and then I will bring you back in when we have the actual docking to the science station, because well, it's a normal rocket launch. It's not so special. It's looking pretty boring because the payload is just this huge fuel tank again, and in this case it's not as interesting as it might be if I launch other spacecrafts. So I will just skip you through the main events of the launch and the docking, so I'm well prepared because currently my Constellation is still in sphere of influence of the Moon, but in a short amount of time it will leave the sphere of influence of the Moon and finally fall back towards Kerbin. And when it falls back, it will have some aerobraking going on in the atmosphere of Kerbin. And afterwards we want to dock to the science station to refuel the Kerbin departure stage and add some additional fuel tanks and some additional tools we will need for our Duna exploration. And then we will head off with the Constellation to Duna, and to prepare the our resupply mission, I will just launch previously or ahead of the docking of our Constellation ship the fuel tank, so I have enough fuel in space and I just can refuel after I dock to the science station, and so I can save some time and be ready to go as soon as possible. We will have some additional launches, maybe before or after the docking of the Constellation. I'm not sure how much time we will need to finish one of the supply missions. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting program and we have a lot of things to do in this episode. So let me just skip forward to the docking process. Okay, we have reached our science station and I've already set the docking port as my target, so I'm well prepared. Now the only step is now to align my spacecraft or my supply craft with the docking port. I've already prepared this, and we have also a docking in the daylight zone, so this is pretty amazing again because we can actually see what we are doing. And apart from this docking or this rendezvous was a little bit uncommon for me because as you might know, all the other docking processes or rendezvous were that the space station was behind of us and we had to launch into a higher orbit, but this time the science station was ahead of us, so I had to launch into a lower orbit than the science station, and so I had to do almost one orbit around Kerbin to catch up with the science station, and now we are doing the rendezvous. And so yeah, the fuel supply has already arrived in orbit and is already preparing to dock to the science station. So we are almost ready to finish the first part of our important mission. Now here comes the docking process. We are coming closer. Let's slow it down a bit. And contact. And docking confirmed. Well done. Well done. Good job down there in the mission control. What else? We still have here our little spacecraft. I think I will find out a good use for it for an upcoming mission, but currently it can remain there. Or do I need the other docking port? Should I just remove the spacecraft? I am not quite sure what should I do with it. Well, at first I will keep it there and then I will think what I need to do. So this thing can remain there and we are well equipped. So let me just check the orbital map. We are here and our constellation is still on escape trajectory out of the Moon. So we have still a lot of time, so we can do another launch. And as you can see here, down there is Kerbal Space Center. We have some time until the science station comes into a good spot where we can launch. So I think I will prepare the next launch, and then we will see us again on the launch pad for the launch. Yes, so until then. Okay, welcome back to the next launch for today. This time we will launch the additional fuel container for my Kerbal departure stage in 3, 2, 1 and lift off. And I will do exactly the same as before. I will just show you the launch of the additional fuel tank. As you can see, it's only one huge fuel tank. I've added one advanced SAS module to it, so I hope it will give me some additional stability when we head off to Duna. And so yeah, this is mostly the payload of this launch. I've swapped around a bit the robotic controller. Previously it was on top of the fuel tank. It's almost like the solution from my supply ship. The only difference is that I've added another docking port directly down here. So we have here another docking port hidden under the decoupler, and this will help me to assemble my new Constellation with the additional fuel tank. And so it's almost like launching a supply ship, only, as I said, the difference is that I have another docking port that's a little bit in a different configuration, but almost at exactly the same. And so yeah, we are aiming for space for this. And this time I think we are ahead of the station again, so I have to launch into a higher orbit than my space station and wait for the station to catch up with us to finally do the rendezvous, and then I will bring you back for the docking after we have done our gravity turn. And so yeah, this is most of this launch. And then I have a third launch planned where we bring up the science and all the other important things. Okay, it's time for the gravity turn. Let's turn around to the 45-degree mark, like here. Very good. And we will see us when we do the docking. Okay, we've arrived at the station. Now it's only a matter of time of doing the actual docking. Well, the text is blocking my view a bit. I hope somewhere around here is my docking port. So let me aim for the center of my station, so I can align myself with the... Whoa. Stop. Almost lost control of my fuel tank. Okay, now let's approach a bit towards the station and fly a bit closer, and I hope in a short amount of time I am able to select the docking port as my target, because currently the text is blocking. Oh, there it is. Okay, set as target. Very good. Now I'm approaching my station, and maybe we are lucky and we can do the docking process in the sunlight, but I don't think so. We don't have much time until the sun will set behind the horizon of Kerbal, so maybe we should just accelerate a bit more. Okay, I think we are almost aligned with the docking port. We now can almost do our final approach and set ourselves onto a trajectory directly on top of the target marker. Let's reduce the speed. Okay, we've killed all of our lateral velocity. Now let's turn around and turn directly onto the target marker on the nav ball, and let's accelerate towards it. So very good. Oh, there's a moon. There's a moon from this position as our constellation currently flying or falling back towards Kerbal. And yeah, I think we can finish all of our rocket launches before the constellation will arrive here. This is very good, so I'm well prepared and I can already do immediately the docking and do the preparations to head off again from the station without having a long time of waiting there. Well, of course, it's a hard time for the crew itself, because the crew hasn't much time of a rest. They are just arrived here at the science station, and after a short while they have to depart right away again. But I think this is okay. I hope this is alright for them. So yeah, we can head off immediately to Duna. I don't think that I will really wait for a good Duna window. I think I will just launch for Duna right away and adjust my orbit or my trajectory while I'm on the way towards Duna. And I think so I need to enter myself in a lower orbit around the sun than Duna, because Duna is a little bit ahead of us, or by a large degree ahead of us. And so the only thing, or the only way of having a rendezvous is having a lower orbit and to catch up with Duna and finally prepare for the rendezvous with Duna, and there we have to insert ourselves into an orbit. And I hope that the additional fuel, with the additional fuel tank I'm currently launching and docking to the science station, we will be able to fly up to Duna and also return back from Duna, and maybe, or I hope that we are able to do this. And if not, then we have to... Okay, docking confirmed, very good. So the fuel tank is completely full, very nice. And what do we have here? 60, and this thing is missing more than 60. Okay, I can't completely refuel this, so it's okay. I will just now... We have docked the fuel tank, decouple, so I have to pay attention when I'm launching for Duna, and yeah, I need to make sure that I also can return, or if I'm not able to return, then I have to think about a rescue or a resupply mission for my Duna constellation. We will see. I'm not doing really the calculations for having a good encounter or for having the right amount of fuel. I'm just doing this additional fuel tank on my observations based on my Mune missions and my missions up to Minmus, because Minmus is almost at the edge of Kerbal Sphere of Influence, so I'm using a lot of delta V there to get up there, and so I hope that we will be able to return also from Duna in this configuration, but I'm not quite sure. We will find that out when we are actually doing our departure burn to Duna. Okay, I've decoupled my booster stage, and I have reduced its orbit a little bit, so it will fall back into the atmosphere and finally disintegrate, so we won't have any space debris, and I will bring you back for the final launch for today. Okay, welcome back to the last and third launch for today. This time we will launch our science return capsule, and I will also launch the science segment for Duna. I will explain in detail later during the launch in 3, 2, 1, lift off. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, let's talk a bit about the launch configuration for today, because what do we have? We have the standard science return capsule. I've already shown you in the proof of concept video, and up there is the science segment. The science segment is almost the same as before for the Mune missions, or for the... Have I used it? No, I have only used it for the Mune mission. It was used for the very first time, but the Mune mission configuration had no parachutes on, and this time the science configuration thing is equipped with some parachutes, while I'm losing here almost control of my spacecraft. Okay, now with the liquid fuel rockets I have more control over my spacecraft again. That's very good. Let's aim for 200 meters per second for 10,000 meters. And I've added here a lot of parachutes, because Duna, as you might know, has an atmosphere, And so I hope the science segment will help me to land on the surface of Duna without using so much of my fuel, or in the best way to use any of my fuel. So yes, it's an improved way of the science segment, and in this case, yes, it's an improved way, and I bring you back in when we do the actual docking again with the science station. So until then. Okay, the science return capsule and my science stage for Duna has arrived at the science station, and we are now preparing for the final approach to dock to it. And then we are well prepared for our constellation to return back from the moon. I think I have to undock and reallocate, or to park a little bit my other spacecraft while the docking process, because I don't have enough docking ports at the station. But I think this is okay. We need to find this out as soon as we are finished, or as soon as we have finished our rendezvous with the constellation. Now it's time to align with the docking port. I will dock the thing to the docking port of the additional fuel tank for the constellation. So very carefully. I actually don't have any SAS on this capsule, so it's pretty hard to be steer and controllable in space. I need to do it very carefully, especially with the huge unwieldy science and parachute thing on top of it. It's not as easy to control as it could be, but I think it's alright, and I hope it's only a one-way launch for a long time, so it's okay that I have to be very carefully, and I have to control the thing very slowly, and to make sure that I don't run into my station and damage my station, or damage my science compartment, or anything like this. But I think everything is still okay. Everything seems to be still in good shape, and now we are only a few meters away from the docking port. Everything looks very good. Let's reduce a bit more our speed. Okay, 0.1 is exactly what I want to. Now only a few meters left, and then we are finished with the preparations, and we can finally switch over to our constellation and see what they are doing, and prepare our rendezvous with the station also for the constellation, so we can prepare the thing to be ready to go back in space and back to Duna. Okay, we should have contact in a few seconds. Yes, there we have it. Let's switch off SAS and RCS to help the docking process. And okay, docking confirmed. Very good. Now everything is well prepared. This is amazing. I have some fuel left. I can bring up here. So there's so much fuel left. This is nice. This is really nice. Okay. Good job, everyone. Good job. Now the only missing thing is the constellation to be prepared for the first mission out of Kerbal Sphere of Influence. So I will join with you the constellation guys on their way back home to Kerbal. Okay, we are back at the constellation with Durdo, Jetmai and Bering. Bering, our hero from the visit on the moon. Let's have an IVA view. I want to see this position. So what do we see? We only see a little part of the Kerbal departure stage, and we can't see more of our capsule and of our constellation from this point of view. So very nice, very good. Before we will continue, I have some little fuel left in the lander tanks. So let me just bring the fuel back over to the Kerbal departure stage, just in case. Okay. We don't have much fuel left, so going up and coming back from the moon is pretty fuel intense. And I've almost refueled this part, okay. So, I hope this additional fuel tank will give us enough fuel to also return back from Duna, at least I hope so. Or I think we have some severe troubles. Okay, we are 3 hours away from our lowest point when we do the aerobraking process. So we can do a bit fast forward because the station is now well prepared for our approach and our arrival at the station. And everything is waiting for us to arrive there and to resupply and to prepare our final... Okay, come on, stop. Very good. Before we will lose our solar panels, let me just retract them. Okay, very good. I hope everything will survive and we won't run into any trouble during the aero capture or aerobraking process. And as I said, I want to have the rendezvous with my science station set as target. As I said, or if you remember from my departure episode, as I left the moon, I hoped for, or I thought that I could have a direct rendezvous with the science station. But as you can see right here, I'm coming down with a velocity of 3 kilometers, and the science station is floating around by 2 kilometers. So I would have needed to kill my velocity by 1000 delta V, and this was only one tiny little fuel tank left. I don't think this would be possible, so I'm really need the aero capture to be able to be rendezvousing with my station. And now the moment of truth is coming right up, because we are only 64 kilometers above the surface, and my periapsis is around 34 kilometers. So I hope we will have in a short amount of time the friction of the atmosphere to slow us down, so we don't need so much fuel to rendezvous with our station. And then comes the great moment of making sure that I store the science data in different capsules and prepare for everything and bring back some science with the science return stage and so on. So a lot of work lies ahead of us and we have to do everything. Oh, before I do anything, let me just make sure that I control from here. Okay, very good. So just in the case that I need to control, or at least I have to control them. And there we have the re-entry effects. Here we come. And now we are losing hopefully a lot of our velocity, so I don't need so much of my tiny little amount of fuel. It would be rather unfortunate if I have to do another refueling mission to have a rendezvous with the Constellation, because the Constellation won't have enough fuel to rendezvous with the science station, where all the fuel is currently stored. So let's hope that everything is in good shape and we won't run into trouble because we are running out of fuel. Okay. We are nicely losing velocity. This is awesome. Haven't I said that my periapsis is around 34 kilometers? Huh. It's going down. Well, okay. Now it starts slowing down. Very good. Okay. This is exactly what I want. Okay, my 3 Kerbals are now smiling again, or at least they are not so unhappy as before. So I think they are sure that they are back home, almost back home, and that they will dock to the science station in a short amount of time. So this is very good. Let's have a look. What have we done here? Very nice, very nice. We are still losing a lot of our velocity. This is great. This is really great. Let's turn retrograde again. Oh no, prograde in this case. Okay. Currently we are well ahead of the station. No, we are behind the station. No, what are we? Currently we are ahead and there we are behind the station. Maybe I should start to turn. I hope this won't kill me if I start turning around. Maybe if I reduce a little bit more my apoapsis, I can already align the new intersect, the intersect 2. We are almost out of the atmosphere, so it's not so much doing our slowdown. Let's do a tiny little burn. Okay, there goes it. I hope I won't screw everything now. So 60, 50 kilometers, 40, 30. Okay, now this is good. This is very good. So the next stop is doing some adjustments with the ascending node. We need to change it in this way. 0.4, still 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, okay, and what do we need? We need to slow down a bit more. What do we need? 6.9 kilometers, 3.2, 2.9, 4.1, 3 kilometers. This is amazing. Okay, we have our next maneuver node coming up in 17 minutes. How much fuel have I used? Oh, it's alright. I hope this is still okay. Let's fast forward again. 16 minutes to go. We have survived our aero braking, so everything is in good shape. Durdro, Jetmai, and Bering are happy, hopefully. And we are now going high up into space above Kerbal. 1 minute. Let's start to turn towards our maneuver node. Around here. Very good, very good. Only a few seconds left. And now it's time to do the burn. Let's do the burn. And stop. Very slowly, very slowly. And stop. Okay, good job. How much fuel is left? Oh, not much fuel left. So we have our rendezvous in 14 minutes and we have it in the daylight zone. This is amazing. Let's celebrate everything with a quick save just in case. Okay, 13 minutes to go. Let's fast forward in time. Wait, before we do this, I like to extend my solar panels just in case. So, yes, we can regain some electricity. And let's fast forward again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh crap. We are pretty much too fast. try our very best to slow down as much as possible. And we are out of fuel. Let's use our RCS. Okay. How much RCS do we have? 200. We are completely out of fuel. This is not good. So, what else can we do? We are approaching with over 100 meters per second. And there comes our station, and I'm not sure if I'm able to do this, to kill everything with my RCS, because it's very inefficient. This is really unfortunate. I'm not sure, I'm really not sure. Come on, slow down. This would make everything so much complicated if I'm not able to slow down in time. Okay, I will try my very best to slow down and bring you back in when we have a final result about my braking process, but this will happen in the next episode. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked my episode of Kerbal Space Program, and I hope you will join me in the next episode. If you liked this video, please like my video on YouTube, please become a subscriber of my YouTube channel, and also please leave me a comment what you think about Kerbal Space Program, and I hope I see you again in the next episode. Until then, my name is Abby. See you!